I feel like it's been a minute since we've done a video like this. I'm getting ready to shoot some footage for a brand deal that I'm working on with Asus and NVIDIA. And I figured this would make a great opportunity on explaining how I get brand deals in 2024. All right, first and foremost, what a lot of people need to understand is that every company has a budget. Every brand that creates some kind of product has a certain amount of money every single month that they are willing to invest into to get traffic and attention to whatever it is that they're selling. And there's a few ways that brands use that budget to push their product, either A, through traffic, essentially like a billboard effect. Like if you're driving down the highway, you see an advertisement, people are spending money on those billboards. The same can be done to social media. So if you are getting a lot of traffic, you can essentially use your social media as like a billboard, and then you could use your socials to get brands to pay you to put their stuff in front of your audience, just like going down the highway when you see a billboard. The other way is by affiliation, essentially you trying to sell the product to the audience. That is one reason why, no matter the size of my socials, tend to get a fair amount of brand deals. I essentially get to leverage both of what I just mentioned and then some, because I do have a following. I have over 500,000 across all socials, so I'm able to put their products in front of traffic. On top of that, through skits and conversation, especially about stuff that I'm genuinely into, camera gear, tech, I've been complimented on the fact that I do a really good job at selling a product as well. So you get traffic and sales. On top of that, and how I've really leveraged the start, how I was able to make the connection as a smaller creator with brands is I love creating. Through the interest of video, photo, and design, early on in my career, I utilized my want to be better with a camera by creating content around products that I just naturally bought and was into. And through that, it allowed me to get the attention with a couple brands, build somewhat of a portfolio and resume. And then as I grew my socials throughout time to where I could show that I can get sales and have traffic, like push an audience to products, it's been a snowball effect where I can essentially just resell myself more and more. Like the more shit that I do for brands, it makes it easier to get more brands because I can show the proof. So I personally leverage traffic, being able to push products, and my creative ability to get brand deals personally for me. Individually, you could do the same thing. You could focus on the fact that maybe you have a larger following. You could focus on the idea that, hey, maybe you don't have a large following, but out of your 1,000 followers, 10% of those followers are really eager to trust your judgment on selling products. So by using things like affiliate links, you can essentially show brands that, hey, my audience, although it's not big right now, they trust what I have to say. And then the big thing is you could use your creative abilities that you're already doing for yourself, and you can work alongside that with products that you already have, maybe a gaming monitor, a gaming mouse, gaming chair, camera gear, clothing, which by the way, speaking of clothing, we got the new Regret Nothing mugs to match the Regret Nothing shirts and hats, available all on biggie.co in the apparel section. Nice little plug there to sell my personal products. But yeah, you could take your creative ability with the things that you're already into and interested in and use that to kind of make that initial introduction and push with brands. A great example of this is my fellow homies and creators, Big Rob Energy and Jayhawk. Both those guys do an amazing job at creating an authentic, natural noise when it comes to things that they're genuinely into. They make sure while they're doing their social media posts that they go out of their way to tag products that they're genuinely into. It's actually literally how Jayhawk got his dream job over the last few years, which led him into so many different territories where he has become so successful in this industry that he recently just left his dream job to pursue his own brand. So with that note, don't be discouraged that you're a smaller creator and think that you only have to have a following to be able to make some noise with brands. Countless brands out there are not only investing into the big creators that they essentially treat as billboards, but they're also looking for the up and coming creators that they can invest a little into now. Just for reference sake, my first ever brand deal on this YouTube channel was for $20,000. and I was barely pushing 1 to 200 views a video at the time. So no, you don't need to be huge right off the rip. All right, so what are we doing right now? Okay, so I currently have a checklist of things that I need to record for this project. While I can't go into detail of what the campaign is around, the general idea of what I need to get is just high quality video B-roll of the products, so that way I can use that as video footage over talking points about the key things that they want to push. So I'm gonna be using the Sony FX3 for this. I'm gonna be putting it into 4K, 120 FPS. I wanted to do that with the ASPC sensor camera, so that way I could get a little bit more crop to get some tighter shots. I'm gonna be using the 15mm 1.4. This lens is sick, by the way. And I just essentially wanna get those smooth, tight, buttery clips from this. And I do need to make sure that I'm recording for both horizontal and vertical because the deal involves both. Man, it's been so long since I've done recorded a video while recording videos. It's so weird as a creator. For years, I was so driven to do this. While I got brand deals, I was like, dude, I want to bring you guys along the ride and see how much of my own content I can create from this. And then over time, it's you get used to things and it's just you just focus on the business side of shit and then you start slacking in other areas. It's crazy. I'm super appreciative, but sometimes I just I get so ahead of myself to just get a job done. And then afterwards I'm like, dude, I could have created so much shit for my own channels in relation to this, what I'm doing today, explaining to you guys how I get brand deals, how you guys can get brand deals, negotiating brand deals with our look, which we're gonna get more into that in just a second. Speaking of, this is not a brand deal, but this was just too sick to not show. So I used to be with an energy drink company called G Fuel for years. Recently, our contract has ended. I've decided that I want to kind of look around for the time being. So companies have been sending me care packages and samples of stuff. And this one called Kinetic, which is a sparkling ketone refreshing drink, sent me out this, and I just had to show this off. Not trying to sell you guys this. I just wanted to show off the display of this. What a way. Think about this. Look how above and beyond this brand went on their marketing with this to try to sell this product to people. There'll be a general idea of appreciation. So that way they'd be more inclined to want to shout out this product. Anyways, haven't tried any of these yet. I just wanted to show you guys the packaging. It's so fucking sick. All right, so I'm done shooting their computer by itself, not hooked up to anything, the tight little stuff. Now I have to take my computer back off the desk, unplug everything, plug theirs back in. I tested their computer out for a few days and installed some stuff, so it's kind of a win-win. Hook theirs up, get footage of it actually in action inside the setup, and then also I'll be able to clean out the things that I downloaded to test it. Anyways, okay, so now that you have maybe a little confidence and understanding that brands will look at creators of multiple sizes in multiple ways to spend their budgeting on, how do you get a hold of them? Complete transparency, where I'm at in my career is I currently have a management company, and brands just flat out reach out to the emails that I have connected in all my social media platforms. On top of that, my management company had me sign up for things that kind of put you in alerts of brand deals that are coming in left and right. But when you're up and coming and getting started, the best advice that I would give to everybody out there is reach out to people. I mean, truth be told, in 2024, sites like YouTube, TikTok, even Instagram now, they offer brand deals through campaigns anyways. Now, they might not be the coolest projects, but nonetheless, they still are available. But yeah, the biggest advice that I would give to anybody is just reach out, cold call brands. What's the worst that somebody's gonna say? No. What's the absolute best scenario from the situation? You reach out and somebody's like, yeah, actually, That would be sick. The amount of creators that I talked to throughout the years that got their first big break simply from asking is insane. On top of that, making a little bit of noise across your content is a big step in the right direction and getting in contact with these brands. Touching back earlier with what I said about me, Rob, Jay, naturally tagging brands in our social media posts, you could just simply go out of your way to create some posts and put brands in there to try to get that attention. And then on top of that, you could email them after you make that post as well. If you want to go to the traffic or community route, like to kind of prove to brands that you can make sales, I highly encourage everybody to sign up for things like Amazon Associates, or reach out to brands or check brands' websites and see if they have affiliate links. Now, there's a difference between partnerships, sponsors, and affiliate links. And there's nothing wrong with affiliate links. There's nothing wrong with saying like, hey, I have a Secret Labs chair. I own this chair. I bought it with my own money anyways. I recommend it. People are asking about it. Can I just simply get a link for this chair? It's actually ironic that I just naturally picked this because this chair made me $25,000 through affiliate links. I didn't sign any contract. I didn't have to post monthly posts. I didn't have to put Secret Labs in any of my shit. I just simply reached out to them and asked if I could have an affiliate link for promoting their product to my audience. So by going to sites like Amazon or simply going to the sites of the products that you use and asking for affiliate links, it's a win-win. You get a kickback with the commission, and then on top of that, you're able to start building a resume or proof that you can push sales. So make sure you're putting your emails and all your socials in case brands want to reach out to you. Sign up for sites that would introduce brand deals for you, or check your socials like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to see if through emails you got anything from the site directly. Reach out to brands that you genuinely fuck with, just to either ask for brand deals in itself, like present a pitch to them, or just to ask for an affiliate link so you can prove yourself. And make sure you're also signing up through affiliation sites like Amazon Associates. I think like every creative, like online creative site also has some kind of like affiliation. Like I think B&H also has one as well. And again, hey, maybe nothing comes from it, but best case scenario, something comes from it and it pays off. And then once you start doing projects and building up your portfolio and start growing your social media presence as a result for doing those things, more brands naturally over time are going to reach out to you. And when you feel like you've built a big enough portfolio based on the work that you do with brands, hit up some social media management companies and see what their offers are. Biggest suggestion that I would give for management companies, because just as much as a good thing they can be, they can also be a fucking headache. 1, read the fine print. 2, don't be locked into long-term, non-exclusive, non-compete deals, which I think the laws are changing and some management companies aren't even going to be able to do that moving forward. But just to save your ass, make sure there's nothing in there that says like, oh, we own the rights to your stuff for like 5 years after you've left the company, or nothing that says that you can't leave until a year of being with them. Find somebody that's honest and open, willing to cut ties if nothing works out, and that's only going to take like 10 to 20% depending on the deals that they get you. Let's talk the hardest part about brand deals. And I honestly think this is the most intimidating thing that holds creators back from even attempting to get brand deals. How the fuck do you price them? I still struggle with this to this day. It's probably one of the biggest benefits of having a talent agency to work with. There are so many brand deals that I had no idea that I could get what I got out of them. This last year, I got $8,000 for one Instagram reel. That's absurd. I guess, let me just tell you what I started to do over the years, like the steps that I went through. And maybe this is the wrong way, but it's just the way that I can give you guys to help. The first thing I did when I finally started growing a brand and I started working with a couple companies is I simply went to Google and I looked at the creative hourly rates for working with brands. It's probably not the best advice, but that's just how I built a general basis. I think at the time it was like charging videography would be like $45 to $50 an hour entry level. I figured the project would take X amount of hours based on recording and editing. And then I also took into consideration the sites that I was paying for monthly to have access to things. I also budgeted in the fact that like, hey, I have this camera gear that I invested into, and I built a general price based on the hours and work that I thought I would put in. The second thing that really honestly changed everything was I just blatantly started asking people's budgets to the projects. You cut a lot of fluff and time out of the way when you just get straight to the point and say, okay, you want to do this. What is your budget for this? Of course, if you're pitching the idea to the brand, it might be a little harder, but most of the time you're going to be pitching ideas to brands that you want to work with anyways. And like, hey, if you cut costs down a little bit to where you just get the best of all worlds, where you get paid for a project and you get to work with a brand that you genuinely respect or you're into, it's a win-win all around. I'm not encouraging you to just allow brands to walk all over you because you enjoy them. At the end of the day, let's be real, most products are running on an upcharge. Even your tech devices cost but a fraction to produce versus what they sell for. Most of these companies aren't hurting. They have a budget for a reason, so don't let them walk all over you. But also too, there's like a beautiful art to this where you do have to earn your keep here. I feel like over the last few years, too many creators that blew up really fast because of TikTok, they started giving general advice, which a lot of it has been great. But on the flip side, you might not be them. And a lot of that is also fueled around ego. And we also don't know every single situation from the advice that comes from these creators. Like, individuals may say like, hey, charge this amount, don't let brands walk all over you, never do anything for free. And they may not get a single fucking brand deal. Like it's good to say that with your mouth, but like, are you actually fucking getting any benefit from it? I mean, case in point, I have been pushing Liquid Death for years. Free promotion, at most, they've set me out shit. I fuck with the brand. I genuinely enjoy this product. And look, if I can't make anything come from this, even though I've been trying for years, who gives a fuck? At this point, it's like a meme. My friends buy the shit because of how much I push this. Everybody jokes about like, hey, when is Code Big E gonna be available? Is that me giving away my community and my traffic for free? Sure. I don't fucking care. I work hard enough in other areas now that I can genuinely push brands that I'm into. But I guess that's the point. I also work with other brands where I make money from stuff. I mean, there are times where a brand will just simply send me a product, like Rode, for example. They don't pay me, they don't ask me to do anything with it, they don't give me anything in return other than just like, hey, here's this product. And even though they didn't ask me to make anything, I'm most likely gonna take advantage of the fact that this is a good product and I have it. Why not create content around it? So like brands like that, or brands like Liquid Death, where I can create this thing around what I do in the first place. Maybe it doesn't pay off in the long run. I don't get something in return for it. Or what if one day one of those brands just says, you know what? We really fuck with this person. They've been dope as shit throughout all these years. Let's give them the fucking bag. You really never know. So it is really about finding this like balance of, again, just Hail Marying shit that you're genuinely into while still building respect around what you do, going out there, reaching out to brands, trying and failing over and over again. But the great thing is, like, once you start the process, you kind of figure it out along the way. So that really is like the biggest final advice. Just fucking do it, man. You can sit back and wait to be like better or more established or perfect in your image, but you just really never know. I really encourage a lot more creators out there to take more risk. Anyways, I need to get back into recording the rest of this B-roll so that way I can organize all the files, get the audio recorded, so that way I can get everything on the MacBook to be able to work from the road this week. If this video was helpful in any way, shape, or form, please let me know. Anyone in here, feel free to share your experience of getting your first brand deal or what you're currently doing right now to try to get your first brand deals or get more brand deals. But overall, understand brands have money, they want to spend it, they need to get their name out there. Multiple ways that you can harness that, take advantage of that. And at the end of the day, just fucking attempt the shit, man, because you really never know. That's what I got for you guys today. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.